yes, and I'm not unhappy, you know? So like you don't have to like tiny things like that. You don't have to be this unhappy person and like um and I just want to just encourage you if you're single and you're like you are seeing all this stuff and you're like, I guess I'm doomed to. No, you're not. You're not. You can live your life. Like, I'm just thinking, like, just living my life.
Welcome to Those Are the Girls with Mallory and Friends, the podcast where we explore life, career, relationships, and pop culture through a Christian conservative perspective. Each episode, we dive into deep topics that matter most to us women, from navigating your career with grace and confidence to watering meaningful relationships grounded in faith. We're here to empower you to embrace your femininity and stand firm in your beliefs. We'll also tackle the latest in pop culture, discussing how they align or clash with our values. Let's uncover the truth and encourage each other to live boldly and authentically. So whether you're at home or on your commute, get ready for some fabulous conversations. Grab your teacup, pour yourself some tea. Come on, girlies, we're changing culture. The views expressed on this podcast are our own and do not reflect our employers. Enjoy!
Hello, you are listening to Those Are the Girls with Mallory and Friends. I'm Mallory, and this is a TCAP pop culture episode. Welcome to the show. If you are new here, I'm going to be going over 3 really interesting stories that have happened this week that I want to share my opinion on. This is kind of just like a yap session for me, especially when it's just me. It's just kind of me giving my opinion, letting you know about some stuff that's happened this week, and then just giving my opinion on it. And you guys can let me know, like, do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you think what I'm saying is kind of like out there or what? I sometimes give a hot take. This is a Christian conservative podcast, but sometimes my take doesn't fit what you yourself might think a Christian conservative would say. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't. So stay tuned and figure out which one it does. Also, I want to say, like, I don't have any real announcements, but like it's taking everything in me not to tell everybody like what's going on. There's some stuff behind the scenes that are like I'm so excited for. Like, I cannot stop thinking about and smiling about every time I think about it. Those Are the Girls is like got some stuff going on. Okay, so get excited. Some really fun things going on. I love doing this podcast. My friend asked me about it, and I said ideally my future daughters, hopefully I pray to God I have daughters, they will take over. And she was like, oh, what would you do if they don't want to do that? And I'm like, oh, they will, so it doesn't, I'm not even concerned. Like, this is like a lasting IP, like this is gonna be a long time. So I want to continually do things like, and it's not for me necessarily, like I enjoy it, like, you know, I'm gonna get my opinion out somehow, but like it's also for you guys, like some of the things that I have planned, and like my hope is like you feel like your views are expressed and you feel you learn something too, like to help you in your future. And like, I don't know, it's just not for me. That's all. I'll leave it at that. It's not for me, but I'm excited. Okay, let's get into the stories. And if you have your cup and you are listening, let's clink together now. Okay, here we go. So the first story is related to Snow White. For those who do not know, Snow White stars Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, and it has been rife with controversy. I mean, from the moment this production came out, I mean, the fact that Rachel Zegler is not Snow White colored, from that moment, it's just the press. I mean, we did an episode on it, and it's clipped Snow White and the projection dwarf. I thought that was like really funny. I had my thoughts. Long story short, Rachel Zegler was like she's, first of all, this is a fairy tale, like a love story fairy tale, okay? Original work. And she's like, yeah, it's kind of creepy and like she's gonna be more of a girl boss type of thing. You know, my take on that was like, I think sometimes these new writers don't want to do love stories because they're like projecting, like, because the idea is like, oh, we don't want our girls to grow up wanting to be found by a prince and everything, and like, because there aren't really men out there like that. And like, as a single girl, I can tell you, like, some of, not necessarily that these fairy tales lie, but they're fairy tales. Like, that's the point. They're not going to be like reality. And like, I'm okay with that. Like, you know, I still enjoy them. Like, I still want to, like, yeah, I know that, like, you know, Prince Eric doesn't exist as much as I'd like him to, but like it's still fun. Like I can still watch it and enjoy it. And like for little girls, like I don't think there's anything wrong with a little girl hoping one day to find a Prince Eric. You know, like but I think people are projecting, and like on their life experiences onto these fairy tales. And I don't think, if you're going to write fairy tales for children, I don't think you need to do that. I think you need to like zoom out. That's just my thoughts. That was also a huge controversy, but the biggest controversy I think is kind of the politics of it. So Gal Gadot, for those who do not know, was an IDF soldier. She's very pro-Israel, and Rachel Zegler is very pro-Palestine. So there's people who are boycotting because they're against Gal for being pro-Israel, and there's people who are boycotting because they're against Rachel being pro-Palestine, and like it's just that whole thing. It's a mess. It is a mess. I feel so sorry for everybody that signed up on this project that was really needing money, and that aren't Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, and like that are just like regular everyday production people that don't have like, I feel so bad for them because like, I mean, this was, I mean, it's a sinking ship. The ship has sank. I think I saw somewhere right now it's box office, not the how much money. It's rated like 1.84, something like that, and it's like that's crazy. I personally do want to see it. I don't know if I said that already, but like I do want to see it for myself just to kind of see like, okay, is this movie really that bad? But I just don't want to spend money. Like movies are expensive now. I love going to the movies. But it's expensive now. It's like $25, and I get like the little kids pack, and that's like it's expensive. Like all together, the whole trip is $25-$30 almost, including the ticket and like the little kids pack and everything. So I don't necessarily want to spend that if it's not going to be good. Like I don't want to. I feel like that's a waste of my money. So I haven't seen it yet, but I do want to see it eventually. What I want to talk about though is the producer's son is going viral himself because of something that he posted. Let me read to you. So this is from USA Today. Jonah Platt, son of Snow White producer Mark Platt, who is also the father of Dear Evan Hansen's Ben Platt, Ben and Jonah are brothers, did not know that, has slammed star Rachel Zegler in a since deleted Instagram, partially blaming her for the movie's disappointing box office debut. So someone commented, your dad flew to New York City to reprimand a young actress. Any words on this? Because that's creepy as heck and uncalled for. People have the right to free speech, no? Shame on your father. And then this is what Jonah is going viral for. This is his reply. You really want to do this? Yeah. My dad, the producer of an enormous piece of Disney IP with hundreds of millions of dollars on the line, had to leave his family to fly across the country to reprimand this 20-year-old employee for dragging her personal politics into the middle of promoting the movie for which she signed a multi-million-dollar contract to get paid and do publicity for. This is called adult responsibility and accountability. And her actions clearly hurt the film. I lost it. Clearly hurt the film's box office. Free speech does not mean you're allowed to say whatever you want to say in your private employment without repercussions. Tens of thousands of people worked on the film, and she hijacked the conversation for her own immature desires at the risk of all the colleagues and crew and blue-collar workers who depend on that movie to be successful. That's what I was saying. Narcissism is not something to be coddled or encouraged. Okay, so that last line, you guys know how I feel about the word narcissism. Everybody's ex is a narcissist. Everybody's a narcissist. If everybody's a narcissist, no one's a narcissist. I don't know if she has narcissism. That's not, I don't know. Ignore that part. But the other part I really liked is what he said. Free speech does not mean you're allowed to say whatever you want in your private employment without repercussions. And I think that is something that a lot of people have to realize. Like, you can say whatever you want. We have free speech, but there are repercussions for what you say. So, choose your words wisely, essentially. And I like that. And he's right. The movie tanked because of that. Now, let's talk about people on the left are just saying people are mad because she's pro-Palestine. People are mad because they forgot something else from New York Post. In November 2024, 3 months after the 23-year-old actress was criticized for commenting, quote, and always remember Free Palestine, end quote, on a trailer for her PG-rated family movie, she piled on, posting F Donald Trump and, quote, made Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace. Okay. Hello, that's more than half the country. He won the popular vote, okay? And this is, like, it's tough. Because you don't... Actually, no, it's not tough. I'm gonna say it's tough because you don't... Actually, it's not tough. You can not support someone and not like them. May they never know peace. That is just not, like, I don't... Like, that's just not how... I would not say that about anyone. I would not... That's not appropriate response. Especially your kids movie, like this is your production. So like everybody, because no, she said some other stuff too. So like if you're going to talk about like how she's messed, like how people are conservatives are mad, so they're boycotting. Yeah, she also said that Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace. Okay, so like that's another aspect of it. It's not just the Palestine thing that like some people have problems with, or they don't have problems with that. I'm not touching that. But like that, that's another part too. Right? The people acting like, oh, no, it's more to it. Like when I saw someone talking about it, I was like, did people? She did. I had to like triple check. I'm like, she did say something about like something directly talking to Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself, right? Like I had to double check, so I found that article. This is also, I think, part of why the movie is tanking. Like, there's a lot, and like once again, you can't just say this is half the population. This is half of the people who would read. These are half the people who would go to the movies, who would bring their kids to the movies to see. You can't talk like that. And she did, and I think it's affecting it. I mean, I heard I saw someone say the CGI isn't all that great. It took out some of the fun songs. I also heard they did some and this is what's also Rachel Zegler, first of all, is beautiful. She is an amazing singer, a great actress. In the Hunger Games, oh my god, she did so good. Now that accent she had, it took me out for a second. My brother and I were laughing at that. The accent did take me out for a second. The supposed to be southern or country or whatever it was, took me a minute to like, all right, I'm in it. But after that, I mean, homegirl acted. She acted it. She did such a good job. And amazing singer. Love her voice. Beautiful voice. It's a shame that this project, and it's so interesting too because personally, Snow White is probably the most boring princess to me. They could have done this, could have like brought her to life. Like I'm just thinking they could have really revitalized her. They could have really made Snow White the new Elsa, even like the new. I mean I don't really know her story that well because like I said, she was just kind of boring to me. But like this could have been my intro. I could feel the way about Snow White that I feel about Ariel. I could, but like this, I mean, this project's doomed. Sorry to the cast and crew. That's all I can say. Sorry to the cast and crew. All right, next story. This is something that I haven't really seen a lot of conservatives talking about as much, probably because they're part of it. Okay, so this person, Nick Sortor, I don't know, some guy on Twitter. It's gone. 1 second. Uno momento, por favor. Here it is. So Nick Sorto, he exposed Influenceable, the company cutting big checks to influencers on behalf of Big Soda. Over the past, he posted on the 22nd, so 5 days ago. 6 days by the time you see this. Over the past 48 hours, several big, large, supposedly MAGA-aligned influencers posted almost identical talking points fed to them, convincing you Maha was out of line for not wanting soda purchases with food stamps. Snap. Some even slimy invoked President Trump as an emotional manipulation tactic, referring to his Diet Coke button. Not a single one of them disclosed they were paid for these posts, which led readers to believe general soda ban was in the works. Not a single one of them disclosed they were paid for these posts, which led readers to believe a general soda ban was in the works. Okay, listen to this. Clown world, the government wants to block soda purchases for Americans on Snap. Remember when NYC tried this and it completely backfired? President Trump probably had a Diet Coke button in the Oval Office. This is ridiculous government overreach. Let people decide for themselves. Eric Daughtry, we cannot allow Make America Healthy Again messaging to be used to force needy Americans into buying certain things. Remember when New York City Democrats tried to prevent people from buying soda? It backfired big time. President Trump literally has a Diet Coke button in his Oval Office. Not Jeremy Powell. Government's overreach this time in sodas. They want to restrict soda purchase through Snap. Even President Trump likes to drink his Diet Coke on a daily basis. Ian Miles Chang, who doesn't even live in America, but that's neither here nor there. A new war on soda has begun, targeting purchases made through Snap. I don't believe it's the government's role to decide what people should or shouldn't eat. Promoting better, healthy America, but not when it's curbing Diet Coke purchases. Okay, so it's this company called Influenceable that, actually, let me just read what Nick said. These influencers were given a couple templates to use by Influenceable, with one of those templates specifically telling them to mention Trump's Diet Coke habits. This was done to invoke an emotional response from loyal Trump supporters, making them feel as if banning soda from Snap would be anti-Trump. This is an incredibly dirty tactic meant to manipulate loyal followers. Influencers were texted by Influenceable telling them to help push back against government overreach and told they be paid between several hundred and $1,000 plus for each post, attempting to turn MAGA folks against RFK Jr. and Maha. The Influenceable operates is simple. They develop comfy relationships with lobby firms who are funded handsomely by massive corporations, and they also develop relationships with influencers such as the ones listed above and pay them to push their lobbying groups' talking points. They're middlemen, and that makes a heck of a lot, essentially selling out our country. Every influencer contacted by Influenceable met the same criteria, supposedly MAGA aligned. This was meant to manipulate their followers, which trust them for news and opinions, into siding with Big Soda. A grand total of 0 of them disclosed they were paid to push a stance on proposed regulations. There was another template too, pushing a CPAC link calling this a war on soda. Influenceable does this a lot, pushing sketchy leftist aligned ads in the past. They also pay people to routinely push candidates in movies too. This is much more innocent example, but I'm sure this is giving you a visual. Let me say something like people don't know. So a lot of influencers, especially on Twitter and some and on Instagram and stuff like that, but a lot of them are actually paid. Like I said, like $1,000. You get into this like agency, someone reaches out to you and they say, I'm gonna pay you X amount of dollars to promote and push this thing. And they're getting paid for it. And you already have to have a certain amount of followers and stuff, and they're getting paid for it, and you kind of just like, they send you the template, they send you what is going on, you post it, you get X amount of likes or whatever, engagement, and then you get paid. So, and this is happening to a lot of people, okay? So I think that's something people are not disclosing it. I think that's something you have to think about when you're thinking of all of these people who are MAGA influencers. Rest assured, I don't get paid a dime. Okay, no one's paying me yet. No, but seriously, like rest assured, I don't get paid a dime. But there's people who you know and love and like that are getting paid to say certain things. And I want to say it's not necessarily bad to be paid to say certain things. If you worked hard to build your platform and like you have an influence, I don't think it's wrong for a company to say, hey, if this aligns with me, if this aligns with you, get paid. I just think it's important to like disclose it. And I think it's important to, I want to say that, like, I don't necessarily think it's wrong to be paid to say certain things. It's wrong to not disclose it. And I think you just have to make sure as a person that this is for your own self, for your reputation, and like to go between when you go talk to God, to make sure that what you're saying and promoting is something that you actually believe in. And and it aligns with like who you are. For me, I'm thinking if I were to send that thing about Snap, I cannot express and stress how I think it's so, like, if you can avoid being overweight, like, do it at all costs. I mean, and I think like tiny things like that will help kids. I mean, I grew up fat and like not good, not fun, not enjoyable. So like if they can at least have this, like not have soda. I mean, but I didn't grow up drinking soda. We weren't allowed to drink soda unless we were like, well, not at restaurants. When did we drink soda? Like if I was at someone else's house, like I drink soda. Anyway, that's beside the point. The point is like to be as healthy as possible. And if I think that is good. I think Maha, if they can get into Snap and all these other programs, make people as healthy as possible, and then help those of us who want to be as healthy as possible and help get the price of some of these groceries down, that'd be fantastic too. I'm sorry, it's expensive. To be completely healthy, it is expensive. I'm doing my best, but like it's expensive, okay? So, help them, but also help us too, because I think it'd be good to like avoid being that. That would just, I promise you, it'll be better. So anyway, thinking about that, so like I don't necessarily I don't think I would have posted it because that doesn't align with who I am, with what I believe. Some of these people, it technically doesn't align with what they believe either. So like, why did they post it? Because they get paid thousands of dollars. So what do I want you, the listener, to think about? When you see everybody posting about this thing and like you're getting all nervous about like I've had friends reach out to me. I'm getting nervous about X, Y, and Z. Everybody's talking about it. Like, give me more information about it. I think it's just good for us to think about, like, maybe people are being paid to fearmonger. You know, people on the left are being paid to fearmonger. Why wouldn't people on the right be? What do you think about? What do you think about? Last thing I want to talk about. Last thing. This is something I saw the other day, and I really have been thinking about it a lot. Let me pull it up. This is a post, Mr. Charlie from Turning Point, and I want to talk about it. If I can. Oh, I screenshotted that. Let me go to his page and pull it up. Charlie. Okay, Charlie posted a picture with his wife. The happiest women in America are married with children. The unhappiest are unmarried without children. Get married and have babies. Ignore the miserable haters. Live life to the fullest. Oh, then he posted a picture of him, his wife, and their 2 children. Precious. Love that. Now let's talk about this. First, I want to say my desire. And to be honest, every woman I know's desire, every single woman that I know that is single's desire is to be married. I know women, not just like in my real life, like all my closest friends are married. I have friends that aren't married, but like the people I'm close with are married. And then I have some friends that I'm friends with that are not married. They all want to be married. People that you listening that are single, I know you want to be married. People in my DMs that we have these conversations, I know they want to be married. So let's start off with that. There are not a lot of content creators, not a lot of podcasts, not a lot of people talking about this topic from the perspective that I'm about to give. So that's what I want to use my platform for. For Valentine's Day, I had Noelle come in. I highly suggest if you're single to listen to that episode. I love that episode. I think it's such a good episode. As Christians, how do we be single without being sad all the time, without going about secular things? Like, how do we be Christians and be content in our singleness? Because here's the catch. Here's something you're not going to like. We're not promised a spouse. We're not. Okay? You're not. You might get married tomorrow. That's not true. Actually, you know, that is true. Who knows? Life comes at you fast. I meant to say you can meet your spouse tomorrow. But heck, you could be getting married tomorrow too. You can meet your spouse tomorrow. You can meet your spouse when you're 85. The person you're supposed to be with when you're 85. You can never meet that person. I don't know. I don't know if you know. Only God knows. So does that mean you're doomed to this sad, miserable, unhappy life? No. And anyone telling you that is wrong. As a matter of fact, that's not biblical. It's not biblical to think that that you have to be sad and you're going to be just so unhappy if you're not married. Is a family a source of happiness? Absolutely. My mom tells me all the time her favorite thing to be is a mom. Mom is one of those moms that like really wanted to be a mom, which I think has influenced the fact that I really want to be a mom. You know, this is just a side note. I feel like you see on social media all the time I know my mom, she just didn't want to be a mom, and I sometimes think about it, my mom. I don't have that feeling at all. My mom talks to me all the time about how she loves being a mom and how I'm 30, and how she doesn't know, like, her life feels fulfilled because she got to be a mom. Okay, so like I don't have that relationship with a mom that some of the other people do that think that their mom would be happier if they weren't born. I don't get that. Anyway, that's just a tangent. Does a family provide some happiness and some fulfillment? Absolutely. But on the flip side, not having it doesn't mean you have to be sad. And something that I'm 30 now, and I cannot express to anyone how much I was not planning on living this life. This was not part of my plan, okay? Thought I was going to be married at 23, have my first kid at 25, okay? I've never been so single in my life, I don't think. This is probably the most single I've ever been. No prospects. I'm very single, okay? So, what I've really been intentional about doing is making sure that like I'm taking advantage of all life's opportunities and that I am outliving my life and making sure that with my time that I have, I'm trying to spend it helping other people. I think that's what these people don't understand, or maybe like people who, I guess I just don't understand like how you can just say if you're single and have no kids, you're just gonna be unhappy. You're unhappy. I don't get that because there's so many other things about life that you can also do. I don't think that being married and having kids means that that holds you back at all. Once again, I desire that. Like, I've wanted that my entire life. There's never been a time I didn't want to be married and have kids, okay? I'm not one of those girls. Like, I have friends that are married. I'm like, yeah, I can't believe I got married in my 20s. I thought I was gonna get married in my 30s and maybe have kids like. that, you know, I was the exact opposite. I was the one who thought I was going to get married, like meet someone my freshman year, my first day in college. I was going to meet my husband, and like we were going to go off, and like I just wanted to be one and done. I wanted to be one of those one and done people. Okay. I have friends that are married now that were not those people and never desired that, but you know, they ended up being, you know, God bless them in that way. But that has not been my life path. All right. So I just want to clarify that, because I think sometimes people think like, yeah, well, you waste your time doing it. You did a no, that has not been me. And I want to add, that's not been a lot of other single women I know too are similar to me. Wanted to be one and done, thought they were going to be married in their early 20s. Like, I'm not the only person who has felt this way. So anyway, going any which way. All of this to say, I just really want to express it. Like, and talked about this in the other episode too, like your life does not have to be filled with sadness. You do not have to sit at home twiddling your thumbs wishing you were married and, you know, doing all these hurting yourself because you think that you should be married right now. You can still live a life of fun, of excitement, of helping others. Let me tell you, like, what really has helped me is I have other interests. I have my own things. I have businesses, baby. You know, I have my jewelry store, Shop the Pink Rose. I have the podcast. I do a lot of things on the side in the pro-life movement. Volunteer stuff. I am getting more involved with my church. Like, there's just so many things that you can like do that make you happy, that you don't have to be this sad, lonely. They make it seem like if you're not married, you might as well just go out back now. Good luck. You're just gonna be sad and miserable your whole. No, you don't have to live that way. You do not have to live that way. And I think it's just really important, especially as Christians. I cannot like express this enough as Christians that like we are not walking around sad and upset all the time about our relationship status. And that's just not what God would have us to do. The Bible even says it's better to be single. You know, like, I hate this narrative going around the conservative. I hate it. And I just want to push back on that. So just a couple of like practical things I want to say. I kind of just like, I've just yapped and ranted. I don't even think I finished a complete thought. But like, I just want to say like, the biggest thing, like I said, is find a hobby. Do something that is bigger than you. Do something like the podcast for me is like bigger than me. Like, so many things about this podcast that like for example, like being able to talk to you guys, you listening about this means so doing that. I have, just because it was like so fun, and I'm probably gonna talk about this for the rest of my life. I threw a murder mystery party. We laughed so freaking much. Like, it was so fun. Get some friends. And here's another thing too I want to say about friendships. I think people are like, I have to find my friend's soulmates. And you should, and you do. That's good. But like sometimes you just have friends that you just do activities with. People that have similar values as you, and like you guys can laugh together. But you know what? They might not be someone you tell your deepest, darkest secrets to. That's okay too. You don't have to have people tell you, everybody doesn't have to be someone you tell your deepest, darkest secrets to. Just be friends with your friends. And like have, you know, like do fun things. I went to a farmer's market I saw this post. It was like, I might have already talked about this on the pod. But I saw this post, it was like, I'm looking for friends that will go to a farmer's market and then go to a coffee shop. And I saw the post and I was like, oh my God, that literally is what happened. A couple weekends ago, I went to the farmer's market with two of my friends and her baby. Two of my friends and then one of them has a baby. Four of us went to the farmer's market, looked at stuff. I got some bone broth, and I got like a little fill. It was kind of like, it's my first time like as an adult, like a sentient adult going to the farmer's market. So I wanted to get like my fill, and like I'm going back again in like in like a week or so. I got my little bag. Like I'm doing the thing. And then right after that, three of us, or I guess kind of the baby too, are in a book club, and we went to a coffee shop and discussed the book that we read for that month. And I'm like, you know what? Blessed. And I'm not unhappy. Is everything perfect in my life? No. Would everything be perfect in my life if I was married and had kids? No. But I'm blessed and I'm not unhappy, you know? So like, you don't have to, like tiny things like that. You don't have to be this unhappy person. And like, and I just want to just encourage you, if you're single and you're like, you are seeing all this stuff and you're like, I guess I'm doomed to. No, you're not. You're not. You can live your life. Like, I'm just thinking, just living my life. I used to know when I was younger. And people, oh, what's up? I never knew how to like respond. I was like, I'm just living my life. And like, I've been thinking about that concept lately. Stay tuned for more. Just joking. But I've just been thinking about that concept lately. Like, just living my life. You don't have like your relationships. And you know what? I'm talking to myself too, because there's some days I want to also stress. Some days, like I am I am sad that this my life hasn't turned out the way I wanted it to. But there's something else you have to realize: like, it takes two people to want to be together. If you can't find someone else to want to be with you, you can't do anything about that. Like the other person has to want that too. Nothing you can do about that if someone doesn't want to be with you. So like, don't sit in that sadness. Don't allow yourself to fulfill this prophecy that these people have put over you that you have to be sad. Don't allow that. Enjoy your life. Just go out there and live your life. And that's your lesson today from Mal. No, but seriously, don't let this, the most unhappy people on earth are single women without children. Don't let that, as a Christian, don't let that be your destiny. It doesn't have to be. If you have more questions about that, reach out and maybe I can help you plan something. My tip for making friends. So I've had to do this twice. So the first time I actually I threw a party. I invited every single person I knew. Every single person I knew. I invited them to my birthday party. Once I invited them to my birthday party, everybody that came, we kind of came a group, we got close. Second time, one of my friends just made a group chat to do an activity, and then we just kept that group chat. It's everybody like she met, and then we would meet people and just add them to the group chat. And then we kind of just developed a group. Like, just meet people, put yourself out there, throw an event. Hey, do you want to come to this? Bring a friend, come to this. Like, that's how you have to do it. And like, community really, really does help. It really does help. Just enjoy life. Go out there, do things. Sit outside. Go to a farmer's market. Go a party, a dinner party. Go pick some tulips. Do something. You don't have to sit at home twiddling your thumbs, sad about your relationship status. So yeah, that's my advice. That's my thoughts. If you enjoyed this episode, let me know. Comment. What are your thoughts on the things I talked about? What do you think about the MAGA influencers? Does this put things in perspective for you? I hope it did. I hope that put things in perspective when you're like feeling nervous or scared about something. You notice that a lot of influencers are saying the same thing or something like that. Like, I hope this put things in perspective for you. I mean, about Rachel Zegler. Do you remember she said that stuff about Trump supporters? The North remembers, or the South, or however that saying goes. And then let me know what you think about what Charlie said. Do you think that, you know what, Mal, I don't care what you say, no matter what, if you're single without kids, you're gonna be sad. I don't care if you're a Christian and you have other things. Yeah, so let me know. Trying to think of anything else. Yeah, I guess that's it. Let me know what your thoughts. Make sure you rate, review, subscribe, send to your friends. And have a good day, night, evening, wherever you're listening. Bye.